Everyone. So if you can hear me, just put it in the live chat. I'll be checking to be sure you can hear me clearly. Just put it in the live chat. I can hear you clearly. Yes, I can hear you clearly. Someone has said I can hear you. Yes, Ma, I can hear you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me get more. I can hear you in the live chat. I can hear you clearly. Favor Elua. Yes, Ma, I can hear you, Crown Jill. Oh, I can hear you clearly, Ma. Ibiwari Bob Manuel. I can hear you clearly, Ma. Love Jonah. Awesome. So I think everyone can hear me clearly. Beautiful. So once again, good evening, and you're welcome to the exclusive, because I was going to say free, but that something is free doesn't mean it's not exclusive. So it's a really exclusive masterclass tagged Win in 2026 from mindset to marketplace. Let me get the drums rolling in the chat. Drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. Let's get in the chat. Drum rolls. Yeah. And it's not just about the masterclass, actually. This is also the official launch of the Eagles community. The Eagles. There's a reason those dots are there, but yeah, gonna be revealed with time. Yeah, I'm getting my drum rolls in the chat. Amazing. The drums are rolling in. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. So why win in 2026? Why was it tagged win in 2026? You know, if we look back at your life in the last 5 to 10 years, there are things you've wanted to do, there are things you wanted to become, there are versions of yourself you think about every day, you visualize every day. But this is 2025 and it looks like you're getting there, but you know you're very far from it. I'm sure at the beginning of this year you had a couple of goals you wanted to accomplish year in, year out, New Year resolutions without really making any headway. So in 2026, if you don't know or understand the things that have stopped you from actually actualizing those goals and becoming the version of you that you see every day, if you don't know the setbacks, the limitations they're experiencing, you won't be able to make any difference in 2026. You'll be this old same you, having same results, living out the same realities that you've been living in the past 5 to 10 years in the coming year. So this masterclass, who is it for really? It's for those who are tired of dreaming and ready to put their best foot forward, ready to execute, ready to go out there and grab that life that they've been waiting for all along. Because it's not really in the waiting if you're not being prepared for that destiny you've been waiting for. It's just going to be a waste of time. So during that waiting, there has to be a preparation, there has to be an understanding, there has to be a, a system in place that allows you move from just dreaming to actually becoming. And this is what this masterclass is really about. And this is what the Eagles community is about. Providing the tools, the frameworks, the community, the networks that enable you to not just dream, but actually actualize those dreams. To not sit on the sidelines, but actually take that flight as an eagle would. And so once again, I welcome you to this masterclass. Yeah. So now we know why we're here. Let's take it not even a step. Let's go back to the very beginning, to the moment even before you took your first breath, to the moment where You were not even fully a human being, to the moment where you were just codes, instructions from your parents' DNAs, instructions that have been able to come true from your ancestors, your grandparents, up to your parents, and then you. Were first a set of instructions. And before your body fully became, this whole human that you have right now, watching this live class, watching and, commenting in the comment section, before you became this human being, there had to be an expression of those codes. There had to be an expression of those instructions, what we call your genes. That to be a genetic expression. And that is how you became this human being. Your fingerprints, the eyes you have, the nose you have, the bone structure you have, the color of your skin, everything was first an instruction, a coding that found expression. And now you're a fully formed human being. You first became, a zygote. There was specialization of the cells forming into systems, forming into a baby. You were giving birth to, you went through, you know, several levels of education, growing up, and now you're a full adult. But the same way you have this physical development, the same way you've had this external development, it's the same way you were born with something on the inside. This body you see is just the flesh, right? It's just the carcass, it's just the container for the beauty, for the excellence, for the glory, for the essence, for the unique value that you have to offer to this world. For what I like to call the unique knowledge set that you have to offer in the marketplace. And so, most of us, most of you, the reason you feel frustrated, the reason you feel that life isn't happening for you, the reason you feel left behind, you have lots of people, you go through social media, you admire them, is because those people are simply expressing what's on their inside. The talents, the giftings, the callings, they're on their inside. They're expressing it for the world to see. And while you're confused on can you go about this, how can you express it, they are making headway. You're watching them on the sideline. And so you must understand that essence inside of you, that value inside of you, if it doesn't take form on the external, just as you have your body now fully fledged, fully formed, if it doesn't take form, you keep feeling that frustration. It doesn't matter how much money you have. That's the funny thing. Some people think it's just about money. It's not. You could have money without expressing the giftings and your callings. There are scammers out there. There are people who do crazy things for money and still feel frustrated. There are rich people who feel frustrated because there's something inside of you need to understand how to draw out. Sure, the scriptures say something, and that's the Bible is actually the book that I get all of my school of thought from. Because it said, counsel in the heart of a man is like deep waters. It takes a man of understanding to draw it out. That means there's a well, there's an ocean of value inside of you that wants to come out, that wants to be expressed, that wants to be drawn out. And the sad thing is, you would think that that's what education should have been for. That's the truth. It actually is. Education is supposed to educe, to draw out. Education should not just, first of all, now see what education should do, right? Education should give you a way of thinking, a school of thought. Some of you studied, like me, I studied anatomy. Some of you studied engineering, medicine, political science. Whatever you studied is just showing you or giving you a school of thought, a way of thinking. But most times that's why it ends. Some people don't even learn how to think in the first place. They don't even understand how this is a way of thinking. And then it ends there. But it shouldn't. It should move from giving you a way of thinking, a school of thought, to teaching you how to think for yourself, how to come up with ideas and make it reality. And this is where most people get frustrated because they don't understand the process. They don't understand that there is a step by step sequence to it. Just like, you becoming a full human, follow the sequence. You also expressing your innate abilities also has a sequence to it. And then not just that as well, moving from how to think to moving what you think to the marketplace, because that's a different ballgame altogether. So at every point in time, you'll find people at one of these three levels. Is either they don't know, they don't have a way of thinking, first of all, which that's what education does for you sometimes, maybe through books and all of that, because it's not only through school, you have an education. Then you know how to think. Then you move from thinking to providing value in the marketplace, to an expression of that thought pattern, that thought process, that new way of thinking that you've come about through experience, through your expertise, through your unique giftings. Because you have something unique about you. Let me see it in the comment section. I have something unique about me. Just put it in the comment section. I have something unique about me. I have a unique configuration. I have a unique assignment. Just put it in the comment. Let me see. Let me know that you're with me. And so most persons, they're stuck. Most of you are stuck actually. Because what education should have done for you is outrightly missing. And so during this masterclass, I'm going to be showing you the 4M framework, how to move from mindset to your message, which is the second M, to your model, to actually getting monetized. A step by step process, because every successful person you've seen, I've done my research, I've done my study, followed this process, whether they know it or not, whether it's in their careers, whether it's in their business, whether it's in the platforms they built, whether it's in the communities they built, whether it's a product, a service, they go through this process. And this is why I like to call the 4M framework. It first of all starts with your mindset, the message, the model, and the monetization. Yeah, I'm seeing it in the chat. People are saying, I have a unique assignment, I have a unique configuration, I have something unique about me. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so expression must follow these 4 M's. The mindset first. Why is mindset first? I know we've heard it over and over again. Everything begins in the mind, thoughts are things. But that you know does not mean you've applied the truth of it. Personally, I grew up in an environment where my external reality and what I thought of myself or what I believed were not correlating. I believed myself to be something, to be global, to be sent on a mission, but my environment was saying something different. I had all the certificates. For context, it's not just about, okay, believing. All my life, I finished as the best graduating student. From primary to secondary. No, let's even start from nursery. From nursery to primary to secondary school to university to even the MSc I did in neuroscience. I don't know about the MSc I'm doing now in, in London here. That one is getting practical. Yeah, but I had these achievements. I had these certifications. I had certifications in HSC, in quality management, in project management. But I knew something wasn't adding up. Something wasn't adding up. For most of you, you know some things are not adding up. If you know some things are not adding up for you as well, put it in the comment. Some things are not adding up, ma. Some things are not adding. Just put it there. Let me see. Some things are not adding up. Let me see it. Yeah, say some things are not adding up, ma. Yeah, so I knew some things were not adding up. Lots of things were not adding up. So the one thing people don't even know is the reason I actually one of the reasons, not the main reason, but one of the reasons I actually wanted to study neuroscience and actually did was because I wanted to understand how the mind works. How is it that you would think of yourself as something else and it was not going to be, you know, your reality? What differentiated people who were just wishful thinkers? Because they're everybody, even the madman in the dustbin thinks he's a king, but he's not. The madman in the trash thinks in the garbage thinks he's a king, but he's not. So what separates the wishful thinkers from the industry movers, industry shakers, those who are making waves in their niches, their nations? What was the difference? So that was one of the reasons I studied neuroscience. I wouldn't say studying neuroscience finally gave me the answer, but it gave me a school of thought. Then the Holy Spirit gave me a way of thinking that I was now able to apply. And this is one of the things you'll be knowing through mindset. Look, the thing is, some of you, you're not even aware. That's the first step. You're not even aware. You're not even aware of the limiting beliefs of the lies you've told yourself over and over again. And some of them are not your fault. Some of them you heard growing up, oh, you're stupid, you're not good enough, we need to manage money. A whole lot of things you hear growing up, sometimes from those you love, sometimes from those you hate, but somehow they stick. And just as you have, your software generated as a result of several codes, for us as human beings, the codes are the words we hear, the words we read. And not just that, the words we tell ourselves. The truth is, you talk to yourself at least 70% more than any other person talks to you. You talk to yourself more than other people talk to you. If this is true for you, put it in the comments. It's true. I talk to myself more than people around me say anything to me. You're with yourself at least 70% of the time. You're with yourself at least 70% of the time. So even not just what you hear from people, but what you say to yourself as well matters. There are codes. The words, these words are programming on your mindset. And the brain is just yes, it's just a sponge, but it's not just a sponge. It's it absorbs. It absorbs. So what you tell it is how it functions. So it's either you and it could be on just two sides of it. There's no middle ground. Is either life or death. Is either prosperity or poverty. Is either health or sickness. Is either relevance or being unknown. These are just realities that your programming is going to show, express. So if you're someone who is saying, oh, poor, oh, not recognized, or whatever it is you feel you don't have yet, you need to understand that it starts with your mindset. And like I said, if you're not aware of the things you tell yourself, of the things you heard, how do you want to change it? How do you want to reframe it? And sometimes we think it's about what's happening to us. It's not. It's not about what's happening to you. It's about how you perceive what's happening to you. Because at the end of the day, you won't say that there are no people who had it worse than you who have made it in life. There are people who have had it worse than you who have made it one way or the other. So it's not about what's happening to you. It's about how you perceive it, how you understand it. And so when I saw the pattern and I saw how this was a recurring thing, I knew that okay, I had to get to the bottom of this. How do I apply it to myself? In short, my mentor would there were moments like it was so little. Sure, this thing about expression was so it's in the little things actually where I would be saying one thing, thinking I'm calm, but I'm shouting, and I'm like I'm not shouting, and you're like and I'm like these things. No matter how sometimes you're okay, but your face is saying you're frowning, and somebody tells you you're not frowning, be like I'm not frowning. You think you're because your expression on the outside is saying something different. And it starts with these little things, starting with these little things that you think are nothing. Awareness. If you're with me, just put awareness in the chat. Awareness. If you're with me, just put awareness in the chat. Beautiful. Awareness is coming in. Amazing. But it doesn't end with awareness. And even if you're going to be aware, what at what level? Because there are layers to it, to mindset shifts. They are the ones that happen to you through childhood traumas. Probably, your parents divorced, your parents separated, you lost a dad, you lost a mom, or there was difficulties growing up. Some could be financial trauma. Anytime you asked for something, it wasn't given to you. There was no money at home. You're always told to manage, and it was programming you. You were not aware of it, but it was at that time. Some of these relationships, someone broke your heart quite early, and you believe now that you could never find love again. While for some of you, it could be, family as well. Things that your families have, thought patterns that your families have cemented over time, over the years, over generations, and it has now come into your genes and is now expressed as what science calls it epigenetics, where some expressions can't even be displayed. So awareness is first. You need to know where, how, what were those things that were said? How can I reframe it? After awareness is yes. So after awareness, we have affirmations. Affirmations. Because when you're aware that okay, this is the thought pattern I have, this is the belief system I have, you need to reframe it, you need to rewire it. And after affirmations is accountability. Because there are times you will still go back to old ways of thinking. There are times you will still want to go back to doing things the old way. And then action. Because there's a way the brain works. The brain actually has the capacity to transform, to change, what we call neuroplasticity. But another thing you need to be aware of is that the brain would also tilt into what it knows. It will like to stay in a state of survival. because a new way of thinking, a new you is strange to it. So it wants to preserve what it knows. It's just part of it. It's how it works. It's survival. So you have to act in ways that you haven't acted before. The versions of you want to see. You have to take actions that version would take, because the difference between who you are today and who you have to be tomorrow is simply in the steps that you haven't taken. Let's be honest. There's a version of you that would go straight to Dangote refinery if you're in Nigeria and want to strike a deal with him to be to have a cleaning contract there, whether you get it or not. There's a version of you that won't even think of it. If you're here in London, there's a version of you that can dream of being one of the big fours here in London, here in the UK. And there's a version of you, the current one, that can't even dream it. The difference is in the action. And then after mindset, what's the next thing? The message. Because when your belief in yourself, when your mindset now is so strong that you have complete faith in what you are, who you are, what you were sent to do on this plane, on this earth, you want to tell someone, you want to, your friends, your parents, you want to say it to someone, you want it to go out, you want to showcase it. And that's where the second M comes in, your message. Your message. Let's look at David, for example. Before he was even anointed to be king, he he had an understanding of himself. He already killed a bear, killed a lion, while his brothers and his father didn't think him to be a warrior. He knew he was a warrior. While everyone was sent to go kill Goliath, he was put back at home to tend to sheep. But he knew already that he had a unique assignment. And then what happened? He put out the message. He said it continuously. He would tell his dad, he would tell, they didn't believe him. The problem with most of you is that when you start telling people around you, oh, your friends, your parents, or whoever is around you, your closest, and they start telling you that, oh, Joseph the dreamer, you shrink. You go back into your shell. You go back into your shell. You start to think that, okay, because I think I am this person and the people who I love don't think I am this, it means I am not. That's what happens with most of you. Your message. And now the thing is, your message is not just about what you say. It's about how you say it. It's about how it's received. And this is where lots of people also get it wrong. We are not in an information age anymore. If you still have it at the back of your head that we are in an information age, just write information on your paper, on a paper, and then cancel it. Because we're no longer in an information age. We're in an attention age. Put it in the comments, attention age. Put in the comment section, we are in an attention age. I'm not seeing it yet. We are in an attention age. Beautiful. So you must know how to not just pass information, but make it stick. How are you saying it? How is it being received? Is it glued to their minds? Can they remember it even 10 years later? You know all those songs we heard, those advertisements we heard growing up on um noodles, on even that soap you use in washing clothes and all of that, detergents and all of. They had songs to it because they wanted to grab your attention. Until today, some of us can still remember the songs. We can still sing it. They found their way to penetrate our hearts, and today we can still sing those songs because they caught our attention. So you must find a way to not just pass information, but grab attention. This is not the year 2000 when, lots of very few people were on the internet, very few people had phones. This At this time, billions of information go out every single day. And if you're just going to be like every other person, you won't grab attention. And that means you won't draw and attract traffic to yourself. You won't attract your desired audience. So you must grab attention. But it's one thing to grab attention, is one thing to also be able to resonate with your consumers, with your audience in a way that they can relate with. And that's where the second aspect of your message comes in, your value proposition. Your value proposition. Your value proposition is about how what you want to give the world will be received. So it's a flip. It's no longer about what you want to give or the call that you have or the unique assignment that you're giving. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the unique destiny that you have, the unique configuration, the unique assignment. Nobody cares. Everybody has their own to already deal with. What they want to know is, how does what you have benefit me? You have to flip it from a futures to a benefit thing. How can it benefit them? How can it help them? Can they see themselves using your services, your products, whatever it is you're bringing to the table? Can it solve their problems? Can it provide a solution to the things that they are facing? And for sorry, okay, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. This is where believers miss it. They're not able to speak in the language of the Chaldeans. Even myself, I've been in the process of understanding it as well. It's crazy. And this is where those who are winning grab all the attention, because people care about how you make them feel. They don't care about what you know. They want to know how we can help them, how we can make their lives better. And it's when they know that you care, is when they know that you can be of help to them, that you can now put in your personality into it. Can now say, okay, this is how I uniquely provide this solution to this audience. This is how I uniquely provide this solution to this problem. This is how I'm different from my competitors. This is how I'm different from XYZ that say they offer so and so things for this particular solution. This is how I'm different. That's when now your unique, okay, the unique way of doing things, your unique way of thinking now comes in. But some people twist it, they move it the other way around. In short, some people, they don't even grab attention first. First things first, is all about them. It's about what they were destined to do, how they want to save the world. No. First of all, you grab attention. When you caught attention, that's when you show you care about them. That's when you can now show them how your unique experience, your unique expertise, your unique way, your unique solution can be of value to them. And then the last thing in your message is, you need to understand what customer segmentation is. Because even the audience that you want to help, there are different journeys. There are different points of the same journey. For example, let's say you're someone who is into fitness, right? You're able to help people move from being obese to trimming down in 3 months, 4 months. There'll be different people at different journeys, even in that same audience. There are people who are probably already really obese and they've tried everything, every single thing in the world, and nothing has worked. That's a segment of your audience. There are people who the reason why they've added wasn't because they were eating too much or they were just naturally obese, because they got pregnant and they added weight. And after that, they've not been able to lose that weight. So that's another customer segment. There are people who is genetic. They've tried. In short, everybody in your family has body. And so to them, in short, is impossible. This is how it is for me. I can't lose weight. These are several segments of this same audience that you want to help, which all come into the category of what? Losing weight. And you are the fitness person. Now, what most people would do is they would focus on the fact that, oh, I'm a fitness person. This is what I do. This is how I can help you. No, you must speak to these different customer segments. You must speak to their pain points. And these different pain points will determine how they're able to resonate with you and move from just being observers. Now, when we come to customer segmentation, there are now levels to these people. And this is the part that now connects it with the model. They are the observers. There are those who become learners, who learn from you, who move from just attention to they have an interest in whatever you have to offer. From the learners, you also have those who now become clients, customers. And then you have people who become ambassadors and advocates for your brand, your business, or whatever it is you do. And trust me, this is not just for a business now. Some of you might be thinking, oh, um this whole conversation is about businesses. No, it's not. Even in your career, it also follows this pattern. By the time you start sending out CVs, you understand what I mean. There are those who will see your CV and swipe like they're looking for the next big thing, move on to the next reel. And there are those who will see your CV and be interested, be like, okay, this person looks like what we're looking for. This person looks like a close match to this role, to this job description, to this job offer. And then they call you in for an interview. They want to learn more about you. And then by the time you hit that job offer, they've become your client. Yes, you're working in an organization, but now they're your clients because they're using your services, they're using your experience, they're using your expertise. So this is not just for business, guys. This is in every single thing you can think of. Business, career, community, whatever it is you want to build, as long as you want to move from just thinking about that thing you want to execute to making it a reality, it must follow this pattern. Let's say you're a business owner. Your observers will be those who come across your social media posts, for example, maybe about your business or your products or your services. And then it moves from them just, okay, observing, seeing you, putting a like there, comment there, to them actually subscribing to your newsletter, to them actually engaging, asking questions. How can I buy this product? What's the price? It means there's an interest there. They want to learn more. How much is it? How much is your service? How much is your product? And then the thing is that most people, for some of you, short for most of you, the reason you're not able to have, you know, your audience move from observer to learner to what's the next one now? Yeah, from observer to learner to clients or customers, and then having advocates of your brand or business or your unique. capacity or experience or expertise. It's because you're saying the same thing to each of them when there are different journeys. You can't be saying the same thing you say to observers to learners. You can't be saying the same thing you say to learners to clients. You can't be saying the same thing to advocates. There are different messaging of the same core message. There are different ways you approach it. Let's say someone likes your post. The next thing you want to do is move them from observer to learner first. You're not trying to make them a client. No. You're not trying to get them to jump the gun. You want them to learn more. You want to either give them a free product, a free PDF, a free experience, a trial. This is what businesses do, a free trial. For some, there are activations. They go out there, they do brand activations. They want people to learn more. And then those learners, you now have to have a different message. There's a different psychology to messaging that now moves them from just learners to clients. You're talking about urgency at this point in time. That's a very key aspect of it. You're talking urgency. You're letting them know why that problem, if they linger and they don't become a client or a customer, you remind them of what they're going to face when they go back home. They're going to remain in the same spot. They're probably going to have, if you're someone who sells detergent, for example, something as basic as that, they're going to have that same white shirt not being cleaned out properly. Create urgency. Remind them of their pain points. Remind them what they don't want to go back to. Different messages. But you can't be saying this to people who haven't even learned more about your business, to people who haven't even seen you, who you not even grab their attention. And then you move these people who have now become clients to what? Becoming advocates. Where they don't just use it once, they use it twice. This is now the brand they use. They tell their friends, they tell their neighbors, oh, have you heard of this soap? Oh, have you heard of this eatery? Oh, have you heard of this teacher? It's like go to their YouTube, it's amazing. You're gonna learn a lot. And then you move from that to now this is what they call actually this is what they call having a tribe. Because by the time you have these advocates, you have this ambassador, they become your tribe. You would even see this, exemplified in even David as well. I don't know why I'm using David as just an easy person to just use as an example today. He had those who heard of his fame, he grabbed their attention when he killed Goliath. He had those who became his mighty men. He had those who were now in his inner circle. He had those who were now speaking of his fame, were advocating for him even when Saul wanted to kill him. It's always there. It's always a pattern. It's not today. It's a system that works. And now this same thing now connects you to your model because you cannot provide value. Now, everyone at this stage now is about value creation, providing value provision. Someone say value provision in the comment section. Value provision. Value provision. So the value you provide to those at the observer's level is not the value you provide to those who are at the learners, the client, and the advocate stage of their journey with you. And now your model is how you provide that value. Your model is how you provide that value. So you can see two people who are passionate about food or healthy eating or healthy living, for example. One will say, oh, because I'm passionate about food, I want to own a restaurant. That's a model. Oh, one might say, oh, because I'm passionate about food, I already like this brand, so I want to franchise it. That's a model. Some might say, oh, I don't like going into restaurant business. I want to create a community of people who love food but want to eat healthy. That's another model. Same message, same vision, same thing they love, but their model is now different. One might say, oh, I just want to have a YouTube channel cooking and posting on YouTube. That's a model. Another could say, oh, I just want to create cookbooks of different recipes, of different cuisines, cookbooks, and upload online. That's a different model. But with each model, you need to understand that you still have different people at those levels: the observers, like I said, the learners, the clients, and the advocates. So if someone comes onto your post, let's say it's a social media post now. Let's use social media. The observer is going to get uh let's say a free tip on a post, right? A free tip. Let's say it's someone who wants to create a cooking book or a recipe book or whatever. A free tip is going to be on a social media page. That is the value you provide to them at that level. Then the learners could be, and the learners, it could be that they pay for it or they don't. We'll get to monetize very soon. They could pay for it or they don't. It could be a free, a free PDF or something. Then your clients, or maybe even the cookbook, then your clients become those who actually buy this cookbook, but don't just want to buy it. They want you to teach them. They want to see you experiment or carry out this recipe, cook this recipe outrightly with them. Those are now a different level of our clients. You're not, it's the same idea, but at each level and at all these levels, you're providing a different kind of value to your audience. You cannot be telling people who are just observers, oh, I'm going to teach you how to cook. It doesn't work that way. And then after your model, and for some people, your model could be, if you're not a product brand, you're a service brand. Some of you, it could be um, freelancing. Some of you provide your services in a corporation, in an organization. That's all right. For some of you, it's in a careers. For some of you, it's in a business. For example, just data analytics, for example, you could do it as a freelancer. You could do it in an organization. These are different models. Some people would create a course. It's a different model to provide value. For some of you, it could be coaching, it could be consulting. For some of you, it could even be creating a tech platform. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, his model is apps, Facebook, Instagram, and the likes, an expression of his unique, assignment, but it's in form of apps, a tech company, a tech organization, which he has now put all together as Meta. For some of you, okay, let's look at Oprah. For Oprah, it was her show. For some of you, it could be books you write. Some of you, it could be songs. Some businesses, actual services, actual products. And now you move on to that, to actually monetizing, which is the fourth M. Yeah, so before we go into the fourth M, if you have questions, let me see it in the chat. If you have questions, let me see it in the chat. And if you're with me, just put it in the chat. I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you. Just put it in the chat. So we are going on to the fourth M, which is to monetization. And when it comes to monetization, it's still the same segmentation. And this is so important because as entrepreneurs, as even career people, early career professionals, people who are aspiring consultants, coaches, and whatever it is you want to be, if you don't understand this different levels and how they all play together. So before I go on to monetization, I want you to visualize a funnel turned upside down. That's a triangle, but an inverted triangle. So just give you a mental picture, right? an inverted triangle, and then you cut into four layers. So you have the observers at the first level, you have the learners next, and you see that the funnel reduces, the number of people reduces. Then after that, you have the clients or customers, and you have the brand advocates and all of that. This funnel are all about people, people passing through that journey. So if your model is not about feeding people, helping people, either physically, mentally, emotionally, even their hopes, feeding their hopes, yes, that's what is not that's not the only thing church does, of course. It does way more, but yes, that's one thing. It gives you hope, hope for a better tomorrow. Aside feeding your spirit, of course. I know some even go up to feeding your mind. It's the one I attend feeds your mind, of course. Yeah. So you must be people centered even when you're having your model, because that is how you now get monetized. Because people, your money, your monetization is in people. People are the ones who will bring out the dough from their bags and give it to you and say, help me solve this problem. Help me solve this problem. Now, when it comes to monetization, your observers definitely. Now you have, remember the funnel, right? The inverted triangle. At each level, you have to know that, okay, at the observer stage, you have a message for them, you have a model for them, and there's a way you monetize them. At the learners level, there's a message for them, there's a model for them, and there's a way to monetize them. At the client's level, same thing. Now, for your observers, they might not give you any real monetary, feedback or value, but they increase your brand assets, your number of likes, your number of comments, the shares that they give to you, you know, the visibility that it gives you, the credibility that it gives to you. For some people, they have so much observers that they become brand influencers. People now pay them to get their products and services seen. But if you don't have that much, that's not a problem. Even that you have just a few still gives you a level of credibility, a level of fulfillment too, that okay, you're doing something right. So that's how most times observers are monetized. It gives you credibility, it gives you social proof that it's working towards, the real dough that you might want. And then you have the learners. The learners, if they're not already paying you at a tiny offer, maybe something really cheap, they're helping give you feedback. You're able to say, okay, um, let me test this product, let me test this offer. Who's gonna get it? People would inquire, oh, some people would pay something. You can understand your audience better, understand their pain points better, get feedback, adjust, pivot. This is most times the value you will get from learners if you're not already, selling something to them at a cheaper rate or at an affordable rate, or just giving them something to just hold this one first while you're still cooking your main offer. And then you have your real clients, the customers, people that really, really are your ideal audience, those who can pay for the value you have. These ones now might, be buying your products in large quantities, become wholesalers. Some might become, part of your community and the likes. And then you have the last bit, your brand ambassador. Some of them now become, okay, your coaches, your mentors, your mentees. Some of them are your board members, actually, your business partners, depending on what business you do. It's applicable for different people, different ways. Yeah. So these different levels still have different levels of monetization. And another way to categorize it would be influence, your assets, because the influence would be those who are the observers level. The assets would be those who now, encounter your free products, your limited time offers, your cheap products, your website, the one who give you views on your website, traffic on your website, and maybe you can put ads, Google ads later on, AdSense later on. The people who come into your shop, those are now your assets, customers that come in every day to inquire. And then you have real wealth where they now are able to part away with their money. I think that's it for monetization. Any other thing, you're going to learn better in a program I'll be sharing with you shortly, very shortly. So if you've been with me, I'm seeing a lot of I'm riding with you, I'm riding with you. So if you've been riding with me for the past 57 minutes, if you've been riding with me for the past 57 minutes, um put in the comment section in the live chat the four M's. What are the four M's? Just put it in the live chat. What are the four M's? Put it in the live chat. Put these four M's in the live chat. I'm not gonna say it myself because I believe you've been with me. So put the four M's in the live chat. What are the four M's? What are the four M's? Don't type the four M's. Someone is typing the four M's. Yes. Essence Oluka says mindset message. Yes. Mindset message model monetization. Beautiful. Crown Jewel says mindset message model monetization. Amazing. These are the four M's. Anything you would attempt to do would follow these four M's. Now, in as much as these four M's are the basis of expression, it's more like having a map. All what I've said so far, you can put it on the map. You can draw it out. You can have an actual plan that, segments all of this, draws it out so nicely. But if you don't execute it, if you don't execute it, like it's as good as just having the building plan of a house and it's not being built. It doesn't become reality. So in as much as you have the four M's, which is your map, you have to execute it. You have to go to the field. Yes, I'm having more people say mindset, message, model monetization. Amazing. You have to go to the field. And if you think about it, the fact that when you were born as a child, you were fully dependent, right? You had to depend on your parents, you had to depend on your aunties. In short, you were peeing and pooping on yourself, to be fair. We all did. And then we had to grow. They had to teach us how to go use the toilet, how to walk, how to talk. We went to school. The same way there was a training for your physical capacity to live on this plane, it is the same way that your dreams, your ideas, they're your babies. And they need an environment, they need an ecosystem, they need a community to help not just give birth to them, but to help them grow. So your expression is like, okay, the blueprint, right? But execution actually makes you have the actual building. Expression is like being pregnant. There's something inside of you that is distilling, that is grooming, that is growing. But execution is actually the actual pushing out of these ideas, of this expression to the world. And so it needs that that womb experience. It needs that people, even on the outside, who would not kill it, who will not doubt you and say, oh, you're dreaming, oh, you can't do it, oh, you go find something else to do with your life. Because what has been given to you, only you can see it. Maybe if maybe they are perfect or if they have capacity to see, would see. But not everybody would see it. It's what you show them eventually that they'll be like, oh, I always believed in you. I always believed in you, really. So you must incubate it. You must put it in an environment that allows it grow, allows it bloom. And this is why so many people have aborted ideas, aborted babies, aborted children who didn't take full shape because they put it in an environment that killed it. They were not able to protect it. They were not able to protect their ideas, their babies. And so they listen to the doubters, they listen to the limitations, they listen to all of that. But this community, the Eagles community, someone put it in the chat, the Eagles. The Eagles community, we're all about execution, helping you move from just ideas, helping you to move from just mindset to actual marketplace dominance, creating that environment, creating that ecosystem, creating that womb experience that these your ideas, these your visions need to take shape, to take form. Yes, I'm seeing it in the comments, the Eagles community. I need more of that. The Eagles, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Amazing. And if you think about it, when an eagle is born, does it start flying immediately? It doesn't. But can it fly? Yes, it can. That is how most of us are. We're actually all, yeah, we are all eagles. We all have the tendency of flying high, flying so high that our backs can never be on the ground. But not everyone had or has that mother eagle. So, how does the eagle end up flying? Right? This is something we've heard all the time. The mother eagle will take it to the cliff and it will push it down. And then while it's almost as though it's falling down off the cliff, it goes and it catches it. But in that process, something is happening. The wing is activating the wings, right? The feathers are getting stronger, the bones are getting stronger. It's able to try to flap, but it's training, it's preparing until eventually it takes flight. And that is what many of you don't have. It's not that the DNA of greatness is not there already. It's not that the DNA to take flight is not there already. It's already there. It's not that the DNA to become global is not there. It's there. It's in all of you, it's in all of us. But you've not had that training, you've not had that push off the cliff that actually begins to train you to train your wings to fly. And that singular process of the mother eagle pushing it off the cliff is what I call execution. It's as though it wants to kill the eagle. Yeah, some people get the message there. It's as though you want to kill it, you want to execute it, but you're actually giving it the opportunity to become. It's as though the mother eagle wants the baby eagle to die, the eaglet to die, but it's giving it the ability, training it on how to resurrect over and over again until it begins to fly, flap its wings, and fly high in the sky. And this is what a lot of you don't have. Personally, I've been opportune to, be walk through a journey where I'm not just what's the word now? I'm not just, dreaming anymore and thinking that these dreams are not real, to actually having people around me, a community that believes. And it doesn't they don't just believe, they actually support. They actually um ignite. I have mentors that actually ignite me. And I got to a point where I knew, okay, I knew this pain of being brilliant and not being able to, express on the outside. And so I wrote a book, guys. Let me see the drum rolls. Let me see the drum rolls in the chat. Drum rolls. Da, 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 da. I wrote a book, and this book is called The Executor's Playbook. I'm not seeing the drum rolls coming in yet. Where are the drum rolls? I wrote a book. I wrote a book, guys. Yeah. The Executor's Playbook. Yeah, put the Executor's Playbook in the chat as well. As the drum rolls are coming in, put the Executor's Playbook in the chat as well. The Executor's Playbook. The Executor's Playbook. Yeah, I wrote a book, guys. So this book, someone said it's a hit. Yes, amazing. Yeah. Okay, so this book is a 52-week global blueprint for early career professionals, those who want to pivot in their careers, those who are business owners, entrepreneurs, wanting to become global, execute globally, those who want to become coaches and consultants. This book is for you. It's a 52-week guide that I created out of my experience, out of my journey so far. It's a manual. You can call it a manual, you can call it a journal, whatever you want to call it. It's up to you, really. But one thing I knew was that I started reading books really early. You don't want to know how early. Good ones, bad ones. Started reading books really early. Yeah. So I knew that books have the capacity to transform. But one thing is that I didn't want it to end in inspiration. A lot of books inspire you. You get inspired and you drop it and you move on with your old programming. I wanted this book to be very, very practical. I wanted this book to be very, very practical. So what I did was at the end of I made it a weekly thing, first of all. So no matter how busy you are in a week, 24 hours times 7 days, no matter how busy you are in a week, you would have a day in a week to read the the message for that week and take practical steps. So it also has the reflection bit, it also has the prayer and the declarations, and it has reflective questions that you get to answer. So I don't just want you reading a book and dropping it and going back to your old program. I want you to become aware. So at the end of each week, you have the reflection and you'll be able to, answer those questions, reflect, transform your mindset. Sure, this book, it still follows this same model of mindset, message, model, and monetization. It still follows it. And so you will see that the first couple of weeks is about your identity, transforming your identity, rewiring the ones that don't no longer serve you, to career positioning, which is more about your message. How are you different from the rest? How do you position your career? How do you become a personal brand? And then it moves on to personal mastery, execution systems, leadership, and influence. It goes on to also show you how to move from just knowing that, okay, this is my personal brand, to actually growing a community, to actually monetize, it's actually distributing your value. So it's a whole lot. Then lastly, it also talks about wealth building. It's a global transformation system. It's not a book that you just read. You can't just read it. It would you know this thing I'm saying about execution, right? It would trigger you into execution, literally. You will be forced to execute if you read this book. It's not a book you read and you go and sleep. It draws out. Remember that thing I said at the beginning, right? Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep waters. It takes the man of understanding to draw it out. This book is a book of understanding that draws out from your deep well and gives you a framework, a pattern to actually move from just potential to actual proof. So again, let me reiterate it. So your first couple of weeks, week 1 to 10, is talking about personal mastery and identity alignment. You'll be talking about how to activate your executor DNA, how to build environments that make you successful, how to discover your crown, how to transform wounds into wisdom, how to tear down subconscious limitations, how to rewire psychological barriers for global success. Then your week 11 to 20 would be about mindset clarity and your inner architecture. Then we're talking about breaking subconscious contracts. Now you've identified them, using NLP to build identity level change, master your time, discipline, accountability, see yourself as a global talent, and all of that. Identify industries and skills, trends that are shaping the world that you can, tap into. Then global career, brand, and opportunity positioning. This is your week 21 to 35. In these weeks, you'll be looking at thought leadership frameworks, global skill positioning, the 3-second resume rule, which is not just applicable to your resume, but actually when you meet someone, what do you say to them? And then how to get noticed by not just recruiters, but even people who you're trying to pass a message across to them. Yeah, basically, then week 36 to 45, you have the building authority, systems and influence. Here you now have market research for global relevance. You have your launching, consulting systems, monetizing expertise, your blue ocean, execution, storytelling for influence, and so on. I will drop the link pretty soon. I'm going to see all of this in the chat. And then week 46 to 52 is your wealth movement building and multiplication. Here you begin talking about creating. Yeah, can I get the link to the book on the chat? Sent to you. Yeah, so the link to the book, the ebook version is now available for pre-order. So you can actually, once the link is dropped, you can get it. So it can be sent to me on normal. Let me see. Yeah, so we'll get the link to the book on the chat so that you can pre-order it. The ebook is now available. The hard copy will be available soon. Yeah. Have you seen it? The main stack, the executor's playbook. Okay, I think I can just get it up on the chat. Yeah. So the e-copy is available. It will be available from the 31st of December. So that you're getting it now. You wouldn't get it in your DM on your email until the 31st of December by 9 p.m. Yeah, so that you start the year, the new year 2026 with the book. The new year 2026 with the book. Yeah, got that fixed. All right, let's get into the chat. The link to pre-order. So if you're ready to execute, let's have it in the comments. I'm ready to execute with my executor's playbook. Let's have it. Let's have it in the chat. I'm ready to execute with my executor's playbook. Let's have that in the chat. I'm ready to execute and win in 2026 with my executor's playbook. Trust me, this book is a gold mine. I'm not even going to push it, but yeah, the few people who would get to read it at first, you're going to know. Yeah, so it's in the comments now. I think I should be able to pin this. Be able to pin this. But it's in the comments now. Oh my. Yeah. So I want to see it in the chat. I'm ready to execute with my executor's playbook. Am I seeing it yet? I'm ready to execute with my executor's playbook. I can't see it in the chat, guys. I can't see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. The link is there. Can we all see the link? Is the link there? Can you see the link I posted? Can't see it, right? But do you have the link now? Omari, do you have the link? Okay. Um, yes, I can see one. I am ready to execute and win in 2026 with my executor's playbook. Beautiful. Okay, they said they can't see the link. Let's fix that again. Sorry, guys. Let's fix this. Let's get the link on here. I can see the link here. I don't know why it's not showing there. I can see the link here. Okay, let me put it. Okay, let me put it. Yeah, so it's pinned now. Everyone should see it. Yeah, do we have it now? Amazing. So this is the link. This is the link to the this is the pre-order link to the executor's playbook. Yes, so go pre-order, guys. Go pre-order and have it in your email on the 31st of December. And now this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. So it's not just about the book. You can have a book and you get the book, that's fine. Do it for 52 weeks, that's fine. But there's a program. There's a program. The strategic mindset to marketplace program, which is just an offset. So now we have the book, okay, the executor's playbook. And now for the Eagles, we also have the Eagles program. And this Eagles program is a 4-in-1. Guys, the word to actually explain this is more than an MBA, because this is literally the only school you would have ever needed in your life. That is all about your talents, all about the ideas, all about what you've always imagined yourself to be, the potential inside of you, and how to bring that out into the marketplace and serve it to the marketplace. That is what the Eagles program is about. And so it's a 4-in-1 program, starting with the strategic mindset to marketplace program, which is the program that is built around the executor's playbook. It's a 4-week program, no, a 12-week program. Yeah, starting in January, from January to March, will be all about everything in executor's playbook, moving it from 52 weeks to 12 weeks. And I'll go more into that pretty soon. And then we have the the next program we have in the Eagles program is the Digital Excellence and Freelancing program. After that, we have that's going to go from, I think, April, May, June. Yeah, April to June. That's another 12 weeks of mind blowing transformation. On that one, you're going to move from just being, you know, career person to actually being able to provide this as a consulting business, as a service based business, but now you're able to provide it to so many clients and so many organizations. And then the third program is the AI in business program. So we know it's an AI age, definitely. If you're not able to use AI to not just generate pictures, guys, but actually build systems, AI agents, and the likes, it's just progressive. You're gonna be, I don't know, just like we have phones today, and if you don't have a cell phone, it's like, why even thinking? That's the same way AI is gonna be. If you can't do certain things with AI, you're gonna be considered are even on this earth. So yeah, you need it for your business, you need it for your career, you need it for even as a creator, as a creative, you need to know how to use it. And so that's what the third program is all about. And the last program is the thought leadership and IP program. This one establishes you as an authority. You're not just a novice or a newbie trying to make, your find your way in the marketplace. No, you put your position as an authority by virtue of that fourth program. So you can go through the full program from January to December, or you can go through the programs in segments where or you can go through the program in segments where you just pick what you think you need and that's fine. But yes, it's a full year program that's going to be available from next year and you can start enrolling. So now back to the strategic mindset to marketplace program. If you're excited about all of this I'm sharing, let me see it in the chat. I'm excited. Yeah. So if you're excited about all of these things I'm sharing, let me see it in the chat. I'm excited. So our website is up. Shout out to my team that has been working behind the scene. Funny enough, the people working behind the scene with me have been, their names are Daniel and Daniela. Please a shout out to them. They got everything ready on time. So the website is up. I'm gonna put the link to the Eagles program just about now. Yes, where are you? Gonna put the where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Yeah. So I'm gonna put the website up now so you can start, getting familiar. You can start getting familiar with the Eagles program. So Eagles, this is for you. This is for us. This is for people who know that they were destined to fly and they just need that push off the cliff. So this is the Eagles program to program you into being an actual eagle. Okay, not what you've done in education, not what you've been doing so far and practically wasted money. Yeah. So I'm gonna get the link up in a bit. The Eagles program website. Yeah, the Eagles program website is now in the chat, and I'm gonna pin it now. I'm gonna pin it for now. So it's in the chat now and it's pinned, so you can have a look at all what we have in store for you. And to be honest, when you go to the website and you start getting scared of the prices, guys, you've spent a whole lot of money. In short, me, I spent tons of money being in the UK to come study. And I can't even tell you for a fact that this quality of program can be you can't even find it in university to start with. If you're gonna even see, you're gonna see it in segments for 4 times the amount you're gonna see on that website. And not just that again. This program, because it's going to be the first cohort, which we're calling the beta cohort, the pioneer cohort, is going at 90% off, guys. 90% off, just because you're the beta, just because you're the first cohort, just because you're the pioneer cohort, just because. So if you're not signing up this year and you want to sign up next year, that's up to you. But signing up this year, you're going to get the best value at the cheapest it will ever be. At the cheapest it will ever be. And so let's go back to the strategic mindset to, yeah, the program that we kicking off with, the strategic mindset to marketplace monetization program. This is a program we built around the executor's playbook. It's going to be for 12 weeks. And yeah, what are you going to have in those 12 weeks? So in week one, we're looking at identity engineering and purpose intelligence, which is understanding who you are basically. The neuroscience of identity, breaking old mental models, purpose, call it, alignment mapping, assignment mapping. And in week two, we'll be looking at your mindset rewiring for high performance, neural pathways and behavioral shifts, the science of discipline, rewriting limiting patterns. In week three, now, the reason why we do this, we go in depth into identity and rewiring, is because you can't execute without even being in alignment. You have to be in alignment with who you want to become by executing before you can actually take action. If you don't believe that you're this person, you won't, because that's the basics in the first place. You won't move ahead. You won't take that journey. You won't take that leap of faith because you don't even believe it. So it's very important to go through this week one and week two. Then by week three, we'll be looking at clarity frameworks for marketplace positioning, skill, passion, and experience audit, crafting a value identity, defining your zone of influence. By week four, we'll be designing monetizable offers, which would involve your offer psychology, the core and premium offers, the value packaging. By week five, we're looking at your personal brand foundations, which would entail the brand message, your visual identity, and your category creation. By week six, we'll be looking at market research, positioning strategy, your industry mapping, your competitive advantage, your crafting irresistible positioning. And by week seven will be more about an implementation lab, right? Because you're learning so many things. You're coming um into understanding of who you are, what you offer, how it can be of value to the world. You have to now, start putting out some assets, if I may call it. So week seven will be all about doing that. The outcome of that is that you have your first monetizable offer drafted and your brand identity elements by week seven. And by week eight, you have your business infrastructure set up. That's your social media setup, your landing pages, your email systems and funnels. By week nine, you'll be looking at your pricing psychology, your monetization models, which will involve, pricing neuroscience, tiered offerings, marketplace monetization. By week 10, we'll be looking at how to launch your systems and go-to-market strategy, your launch plans, execution calendar, and content strategy. By week 11, we'll be looking at your sales systems, closing methods, which would involve your sales scripts, enrollment strategy, conversion psychology. And by week 12, we'll be having another implementation lab, which is your implementation lab 2. And the outcome of this is you will not just have a full-fledged launch framework, but you would have also executed with a sales strategy as well, guys. If you've seen this before, put it in the chat. I've seen this before. But if you've not seen this before, put it in the chat. I've not seen this before. I've not seen this anywhere before. Put it in the chat. I have not seen this before. So this is like a mini MBA guy. Church is more than a mini MBA, guys. So yeah, at the end of the 12 weeks, you would have built your full monetization blueprint, including your identity, your offer, your positioning, and your brand launch strategy. And the focus would be to have developed a growth oriented mindset, your personal brand, and your monetization strategy to turn your ideas into income. Yes. And if you're interested in this, which everyone should on this chat should be interested in this, I'm going to drop a link on how you can apply. And it's not for everybody. So you can apply for it and you will not be accepted. So go and pray that when you apply, you'll be accepted. So yeah, I'm dropping the link for you to apply. So go and apply. Go and apply. Putting the link now, guys. Yes, I'm seeing lots of people saying, I'm so interested. I've not seen this anywhere before. I've not seen this before. Yeah, you can also put one of a kind. Go and apply. Yeah. So this is the strategic mindset to market monetization application form. Yeah, so it's in the chat, guys. Go and apply, okay? It's now pinned. So go and apply. Tell somebody in the chat, go and apply. Put it in the chat, go and apply. It's in the chat now, go and apply. So yeah, we're finally coming to the end of this live. So what more would this program, what's more do you have to benefit? So first of all, we would have yeah, depending on what tier you sign up for. Yeah, it has different tiers. It has the foundational, the foundation, the accelerator, and the executive. Right. So if you're going to sign up for the foundation, you would have the core live sessions that I've already mentioned. You have the recordings as well. You have peer pods where you and others who sign up for the program come together to actually execute on what's being taught. And you have your capstone submission as well. That at the end of the program. But you have your people, within yourselves to work together, but it won't be a one-on-one kind of mentorship, okay? But you have each other, people of like minds running together, doing this together. Your 52 weeks brought down and literally compressed into just 12 weeks, 3 months. Okay, and then the premium, these ones would have mentorship, definitely weekly mentorships at weekly assessments of what they're on to. There'll be extended labs as well and resources toolkit for them as well, depending on what they need. And then for the executives, this would be a premium one-to-one or one-on-one coaching to be personalized as well. And there'll be VIP networking for the executives. If I were you, wasn't being an executive without being an executive. So I would go for that. So simply put, those for foundation, you're going to learn and implement independently. Those for accelerator, you're going to accelerate your learning with mentorship and practical support from us, from the team. And yeah, those for the executive, you're going to have personalized coaching, VIP access, and high level networking to fast track the transformation within and outside the egos. Yeah. And then I'm not doing this alone, guys. It's literally a program, right? So you're not learning alone. I'm not teaching alone. You'll be guided by experts, mentors, global leaders every step of the way. You have me as your program lead. Drum rolls, drum rolls. You have me as your program lead, and I'll be overseeing the curriculum and ensuring that quality is produced throughout the program. But you also have other lead instructors as well, guest lecturers as well that will be bringing on board. You'll have mentors and coaches as well. You also have capstone advisors as well, depending on your different um, projects. So I've spoken about the pair pause, the weekly mentorship, the one-on-one, the guest sessions as well. So how was the journey from when you applied to when you leave the program. So first of all, when you apply, you there'll be an orientation, and then no, first of all, when you apply, guys, so this is how it works. When you apply, the first thing you will see is you either be eligible or you will not be eligible. Okay, because it's not for everybody, like I said. But if you're eligible, you're going to make payments depending on the tier, and then you would book a call. You book a call so that we can understand how best the program can work for you to tailor it to you. And then after that, you would go on to the orientation and onboarding, which would happen by January, 12th of January. That's our um, expected date at the moment, 12th of January. And yeah, of which 11th January will be like, you could say it's a launch party, right? Yeah, then Monday the 12th will begin officially. Then the next thing will be for you to go through the program, 12 weeks of the program, participate in the classes, complete your capstones and the likes. And by the end of it all, if you want to join the rest of the programs, that's the other three programs, to join the full year program, that's up to you. If you want to end it there too, that's up to you. But yeah, at the end of the day, you graduate with Eagles Professional Fellowship if you go through the full year program, or you get a certificate of participation from the program you graduate from if you just go for one or two of them. Now, this is the point where you have to decide. This is the decision point, guys. This is where you have to decide. Are you going to stay on the sidelines once again? Or are you going to take action? This is the point to decide, because the version of you want to see winning in 2026 is not lukewarm. That version is very proactive, taking the steps necessary, whether it's getting the right information, the right access, the right tools, the right resources, the right frameworks. That version of you is very proactive. And so you want to key into the action level of shifting your mindset, which is taking action. Like I said, there are how many levels? First of all, you have to be aware, then you have to be rewired with new affirmations, new truths, take action, and then accountability. So this is what you have in the program. And if you're going to be signing up for the Eagles program, put it in the chat. I can't miss this. Put it in the chat. I can't miss this. So yeah, at the end of today's class, you've seen how you literally can move from mindset to marketplace, expressing what's inside of you, not just external, not just having fine curves and fine face being expressed, but having those deep, already imprinted, unique codes, plans, ideas, visions, configurations, assignments expressed on the outside. And with the book, which is the first thing I'll offer to you today, the Executor's Playbook, you have a chance at that, which is a 52-week journey. With the Eagles program, which will start with the Strategic Mindset to Marketplace program, you have another opportunity, even closer network to actually make this a reality. And you have a full program, the 4-in-1 program as well, where you don't just move and okay, have monetizable offers and you're launching, but you move from ideas to thought leadership, everything in between in this 1-year program. So with this, I also want to give another shout out to my fiance. Yeah, he's somewhere behind giving all the support that he can. Yeah, behind, you can't see him, but he's there. Yeah. And I also want to give a shout out to my mentor, my coach, my father, my prophet, um, Preacher Isaiah, who has been one of those. Yeah, I think he has been more of my mother eagle, actually, throwing me off the cliff, right? And yeah, I want to give a big shout out to him. Thank you so much, sir. And to everyone who has supported me in any way, to my family, my sisters, the legislators, all of you, a big shout out to you. Um, this year, 2026, is a big opportunity for you listening to me to change your life. And I'm hopeful that you take these few offers I've put together for you from my wealth of experience, being, not just an academician, but being practical about life, having built a business and now building another business. Guys, I think those who get to be on this journey would know better. I've actually had businesses that have done in the past, and yeah, I've learned all of this from, not just, it's not theory, guys. This is real time practical knowledge I'm giving you, from neuroscience, from observing people, from spirituality, and bringing all of this into those programs. So don't miss it for anything, and I'll see you on the inside. Is it ended?